This is the Christian Louboutin Jonatina 100mm sandal in Napa leather. I purchased this shoe from the RealReal, and if you saw my video yesterday, I think, then you'll know also that I consign on the RealReal. So for those of you who don't know, the RealReal is just a platform where you send your designer goods to, and they sell them for you, and you get to keep a percentage of that profit. Unfortunately, these shoes are fake. So I'm going to tell you some of the ways that I knew the shoe was fake, and if you think it's because of the sole protector, it's not. A lot of people put those on their shoes to keep them safe, but let me tell you what the biggest giveaway was for me and how I was able to spot it so easily. I was able to so easily tell that this shoe is fake, not only because I have a lot of other Christian Louboutin heels, but because I also own this shoe in black, and this shoe was purchased at Barney's, New York. And if anyone knows anything about Jonatina, this shoe came out a really, really long time ago. So let's get into the first thing that I noticed about this heel that let me know that it was fake. Now, on the fake shoe, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but the stamp is really engraved in there. It's an indent. When I rub my finger across it, I literally can feel how deep it is in there. And Christian Louboutin stamp typically just kind of sits on the surface. This one is really in there. Like if you look at the Paris, you can't even really see the leather through the Paris. I'm going to try to capture this on camera, but when you look at the stamp on the authentic shoe, it just kind of sits on the surface, and especially if you take a look at the Paris, you can literally see the texture of the leather through the Paris. It's kind of hard to show because I have my flash on, but trust me, when I run my hand across it, it's just very smooth. And this is just a side-by-side, so if you take a look at these and you look at the stamp, you can definitely see how you can see the texture of the sole through the heat stamp, and when you look at the one on the right, you can kind of tell now that it's an indent. Look at that. Big difference. The next big giveaway was the PVC. This PVC on the fake shoe just kind of bends and folds. You need to manipulate it to kind of get it to stand up straight, and it still doesn't even stand up straight. On the authentic shoe, the PVC stands up straight. I don't have to do anything to it. It's nice and sturdy. One of the biggest giveaways for me was the back of the PVC. On the replica shoe, you can see that the PVC's, this little shape here is it's more vertical compared to the one on the left. The one on the left is just a little bit shorter. And it's just a little bit wider as well. Another noticeable sign for me was the width of the straps. If you see on the replica, it's just a tad bit wider than the one on the left. I'm trying to let you see it, but you see how much wider it is. And also, the material on the replica shoe is really nice. I'm not going to lie to you. It's just a little bit more plush than the one on the left. Now, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but these are different shades of red. It's really hard to see the red on camera because of the flash. But the one on the left is just more orangey. Like I said, it's really hard to tell on camera. But yeah, it's just a little bit more orange. And then also the stamp is kind of crooked now that I'm looking at it. It looks like the sole stamp on the bottom is crooked. Which brings me to my next mention. The sole stamp on the replica is just a tad bit more engraved than it should be. It's not that it's not supposed to be an indentation at all. It's just, it's a little too deep. And this is the stamp on the authentic shoe. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell the difference. I'll try to get a side-by-side. So do you see the one on the left is just not as thick as the one on the right? It looks very similar, but I promise you guys, it is not the same. I promise you it's not the same. Now, the biggest issue that I had with this shoe that was the biggest giveaway was the sizing. This shoe is the size 41. You can see right there, it says 41. My authentic shoe, if you can see, is a 40.5. Now, when I take the 41 and I put it heel to heel with the 40.5 and I line it up perfectly, they're almost the same exact size. Really, honestly, now that I'm looking at it, they look like the same exact size. A 41 and a 40.5 on no day are the same size. Especially not in the same style. Now, I'm going to take this size 41, and I'm going to compare it to another size 41 that I have in another style, and I'm going to take it heel to heel, and look how much bigger the 41 and the authentic and the replica are different. Look at that. Do you freaking see that? That's crazy. Now, when I take an authentic 41 and an authentic 40.5 and put them heel to toe, that is a big difference. A big difference. So, again, two authentic shoes, one is a half size bigger. An authentic and a fake shoe, one is a half size bigger, and they're both measuring out to be the same. Just about. Yep. Crazy. All in all, I'm really irritated by this because this is not the first time I've had this issue with the RealReal. And like I said, I can sign with them, so it's kind of hard to vouch for them in that way. And I do, but it's just kind of hard to vouch for them sending me fakes. Because like I said, this is not the first time. This has happened before with like 2 or 3 other items that I purchased from them and had to return. But luckily for me, I have the real thing and they are just beautiful. So let's just let them have their moment, okay? Like, so gorgeous.